Greetings gamers, welcome back to another episode of the Rebuilding Palermo series. If you are enjoying it, please do smash the like button. Hopefully I'm not covered in paint. I haven't been painting today, like I say, still doing a lot of work on the garage and a few other DIY bits, so episodes will be a little bit sporadic for probably the next couple of weeks over Christmas. But then, once that's all done, I can move into the new sort of gaming area and hopefully it'll look nice for you guys, but mainly it's for me, obviously, because you're only going to see like that sort of section of it. But yes, without further ado, we need to jump in and play some Serie B action. Very, very excited to see how we do, because I genuinely, based on the transfers we've done and a couple of early games in the Cup, I have no idea how we're going to do this year. I think it could be an interesting one. So let's jump in and get started, guys. So then we're here, and just to kick things off, we are expected from the board to fight bravely against relegation. If you look at the preview for Serie B, then it's predicting us about 16th, so just about to survive as the bottom three do get relegated. So, interesting. Now, in terms of the rules with Serie B, it's an interesting one. I quite like this idea, actually. There is a playoff as long as there's fewer than 15 points separating third and fourth spot. If there's more than that, then just the top three get promoted. There is no playoffs, which I do quite like that system, actually. It kind of rewards you that if you are that third best team that is just miles better than the fourth, then you do get promotion. You don't have to mess about with the playoff. It may suck for us if we maybe scrape into 8th and then we don't get a playoff opportunity, but we'll have to see what happens. There's also a decent bit of prize money knocking around for those guys, so there might be some for us. Annoying thing though is there is still, as I kind of expected and remembered, there is no foreign players again. So I couldn't sign the superstar striker that I was looking at. It actually ended up going to Manchester City. That's how good they are. And the thing is, I spotted him before there was kind of like anyone really interested. So I really feel like, I don't know, I feel like we would have maybe had a chance to sign the guy. I'm on contracts because obviously I'm looking at expiries. Let's just look at general info. Actually, no, let's do selection info. I need the positions. So have a look for strikers then. I don't know if he'll be in the first team. Probably not. They've got Jack Harrison back. I guess Leeds didn't decide to buy him. Under 23s, is he in here? Yeah, Ali Akman. This guy was available on a free transfer. They're paying him 9.5k, 10 million. He was 19 years old from Bursaspor in Turkey, where he got 13 goals in 29 with 3 assists, 5 player matches. I mean, I don't know if he would have joined us. You know, it is up in the air. There wasn't really anyone else interested, but he would have been insane for us. I mean, with that agility and off the ball, when he's really good finishing, dribbling, first touch, composure, all that kind of good stuff, I think for Serie B, he would have just destroyed it. Maybe that means he wouldn't have come because he might have been too good for the division. He was obviously playing in quite a top league in Turkey already. So I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have joined us anyway. But the fact of the matter is, we might have had a chance. And so I'm gutted about that one. There are a few other guys as well. There's still a couple that actually haven't signed for anyone, but we just can't approach them because they're foreign players. So very annoying. However, let's have a little look-see-loo at the transfer history then. Let's have actually a look at the transfers. So not major amounts going on for us. We loaned out a player, and that's because we actually bought this player to loan out. We'll look at him in just a second. So I did manage to find a handful of decent regens. Not tons. I mean, I did scout through like loads and loads of players that we brought. You know, so I did off my usual scouting method. If you haven't seen that, go check out the video on my channel. That'll fully explain it. Did find a few. There was a few outright that we just couldn't afford. I've kind of gone for the ones I can afford. And some look more promising than others, but we'll see how they do. But either way, we do have regens in the squad, so that is cool. Now, if we go down the transfers then, so we're starting off with Casper Fabricius, who is a potential 4-star regen. We didn't really pay much for him or anything, but it kind of came along. He looked interesting. He was one of the ones I kind of looked at and thought, well, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he doesn't look amazing, but for free, he don't look too bad. So we brought him in. We'll see what happens with that. Riyad Tahar then. He's an Algerian centre-back. Again, kind of just a young prospect, kind of depth, really. He's in the under-20s at the minute. Breakthrough prospect. We'll see how he develops. He's there for a bit of backup as well. Strength in depth if we get an injury crisis at centre-back. He's not awful, but he just needs to develop a little bit longer. He's not on a lot of money, £275 a week. Gabriel Agori then, he's come from Fiorentina, where last year he played in Serie B for Vicenza and got 7 goals in 31, but yeah, I mean, he only actually started 7 games, so that's not actually too bad for him, to be honest. Start 7 games, mostly used as a sub. We'll see. I think he's going to mostly be that rotation player for again. But, if he can do decent things, then brilliant. Lars Bode, coming from Red Bull Salzburg. He's a young player with, again, 4-star potential. A lot of these would be marked as 5-star from the scouts, but when the joined us have kind of gone down a little bit in that, which is to be expected as we grow. We're going to kind of outgrow the expected potential of some. 1.6k for him, not a lot of money anyway. We then paid 29k for this guy. I actually signed him on a free, but in Sweden the contracts expire in December time. So it gave me the option to buy him now, and they only wanted 29k for him, so I decided to do it. Charlie Weberg. He's a 3-star centre-back, only 23 years old. He hasn't got potential. It did sort of say he did have a bit of potential when we looked at him. It actually said about 3.5-star with about 4.5-star potential. But 3-star, 210k, 23 years old. I think he's a decent ball-playing defender for us, and I think in this league he shouldn't be too bad. A leading Liga Pro player. What's Liga Pro? Liga Pro Girone. Liga Pro. Is that like 4th tier or something? I think that's C division. I think Liga Pro is a C division. So it's saying like division below us, but we'll see. I think he'll be decent. We then got Abdon Prats. He's a striker. Looks pretty good, 3.5-star. He's got decent stats kind of all around in the areas we're looking for, really. 28 years old, Spanish player, worth 1.3 million. 4K, so he's one of our big earners, but I think he's a decent player, and like I say, most of these are just guys that are available on frees that were just released and we've kind of gone after. Ryan Revolution is the next one, 24 years old, a Malagasy player, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever had a Malagasy player. Just under £1 million worth, 1.4k. He can play a multitude of roles. When I signed this guy, I mostly got him because I could play him in a few different roles. He can cover midfield. He could easily do a box-to-box, advanced playmaker, which he's going to play in today's game. He can cover, Mazzala if we swap back to that. He could cover DM if we needed DM. But he also can play as a ball-playing defender, like, quite comfortably, to be honest. Like, his tackling and marking and heading aren't brilliant, but 11 isn't awful. So it just gives us a little bit of depth there, and that's kind of what I'm most interested in, because we've got 3 at the back and 3 in midfield. If we're like stacked in midfield, but we've got an injury crisis at the back, he can swap down there, and yeah, bit of depth. We then signed on again another free, Marko Pajic. He is a kind of full left-hand sided player. Now we're going to play him as the wing-back attack. He's got really good crossing and dribbling stats, which is just better than Gnouchet's got, and I'm hoping that can just help with a bit more creativity down the left. Although even through pre-season, he's not got like a lot. He got like 1 assist. He played most of the games, bar a couple where Gnouchet played. But like Amici on the other side got like 9 assists. So it does definitely seem that the right is the far more powerful flank in FM, and it's been like that for a couple of years, I'd say. I definitely feel like the right-hand side players get more assists than the left, but we'll have to see how it does this year. It might be just a case that if that's what's going to happen, we just go for a defensive player over there instead. But we'll see what happens. 28 years old, Croatian player. He will do, hopefully, a job for us. We then got this guy, because he just looked really good. Raspadori, striker, all around, looks really, really decent player. 4-star, advanced forward. We had a few other players already brought in, but I felt like, yeah, let's just go for this guy. 3.3k a week on his loan, so it's a decent fee, but I want to strengthen depth up there. We obviously lost Geldhart, who's a big loss to us. Couldn't bring him in because, again, the foreign player rule. I then needed a bit of depth at right fullback. I kind of dipped into the free transfer market. They want tons knocking around, but we got this guy in. 1.8k, fringe player. Well, he's just there for backup, really, but he's not awful, so he can do a job for us if called upon. We then got Lorenzo Ferrari as a backup goalkeeper. Same sort of thing. I was looking to bring someone better than Froman, but they just want tons of options. There was a couple, but they wanted insane money I just couldn't afford. And then there was like the Gory guy, who I mentioned in previous episodes, just still would not, even though the Juventus completely released him, still would not talk to us at all. Even like a month on into just being unemployed and no one else interested, he just wouldn't talk to us. So yeah, couldn't go for him. Maybe if he's still available in January, we might be able to pick him up on that free if he's still around. And yeah, it is what it is. He's just a backup player, this guy. Then got Seliminovic. I'm kind of moving on to some of the regens now because I went after the first team players. I mean, a few of these we'd already kind of done, but went for the first teamers, and I thought, right, let's have a little look around for some regens. Spent some time doing that. We found this guy, Denin Selimovic, who's a Bosnian 16-year-old player. He's going to be kind of our right-back prospect. Now, the thing is, I signed this guy after I just signed the kind of cover right-back, and I kind of thought, oh, bloody hell, I could have just done with this guy, but he'll play in the under-20s this year, try and develop him. He's got 5-star potential with 2.5-star current ability. Technique, brilliant. Work rate, brilliant. Determination, decisions, bravery, amazing. Like, his tackling is good, his passing's a bit meh. He's not really good at marking. He's not like great in the air or anything. He's definitely kind of more, hopefully, we'll get him to be like a good attacking fullback. But I definitely feel like this guy is one of the pick of the bunch of regens we picked up. On a free was this one from this guy, damn. There was another player looking at from damn, but didn't go after him in the end. I then got Paulo Sergio, who came from Montemor, £230, which was literally his value. I just kind of suggested it and they accepted it. He is a striker, not like amazing. He's probably better as a winger, really, with that dribbling. But again, he looked good with it. The scouts had him like a 90 rating or something daft, I think. Although I think I've sat that scout since, so we'll have to hope it was decent. But teamwork, he just looked like okay. 16 years old, Brazilian, dual nationality for Portuguese. He looked all right, and for £230, I thought give him a punt. Even if he is a winger, we might be able to loan him out and sell him on for a profit in the future. We then got Oye Zaraga, who is actually a sort of current player. He was released, and I think he actually came up in one of my scout, not the meeting things, but like the weekly recommendation list. I spotted this guy, and I was like, oh, how have I not spotted him? Because he'd been released completely. I was like, oh, how have I not spotted this guy when I've been looking through? But I didn't, and they kind of recommended him. Now, he's got a few weaknesses, mostly in his physicals. Not ideal, but he's got really good stats elsewhere, and hopefully he'll be a good box-to-box midfielder for us. Maybe can cover an advanced playmaker as well, but just a decent player. 1.1 million. He's on a lot of money again. 22 years old, but we'll see how he does this year. And then the last guy was another regen. It was the goalkeeper I showed you earlier. Again, the scouts kind of really rated that guy. This guy, I think I've sacked them. I think it was the same scout I've sacked. I think he was sent to do this work because I've done a big upgrade on these scouts over the off-season as well. But he looks decent. Not amazing, but looks decent. So we'll see how he does for us. Now, that's quite a lot of waffle there, guys, but this is kind of what it's left us with. This is the lineup we're going to play today. Now, the only things we've played so far are 2 games in the Coppa Italia Fanta, which just really really made me want to drink. We played this team who are in the division below us, I think. Yeah, they're in the C division. So, division below, a very edgy game. We won it in extra time. A goal that came from the new guy, Zaraga. And then in this one, I didn't actually even realise at the time. I think I was being a bit harsh on them because I for some reason, I thought they were a Serie C side as well. But actually, they're Serie A. So, I was being a little bit harsh, I think, on them because I kind of slagged them off at the end going, that was terrible. When my assistant was like going, that was all right. But yeah, we lost 3-1 in extra time again. It is what it is, but we are out of the Fanta Cup. We now just concentrate on Serie B, and we kick off against Venezia, the team of last year. So let's see how we do against Venezia. Like I just mentioned, this is the lineup we're going with then. We've got Fromin in goal. Definitely kind of a weakness for us now. I am on the hunt for a new goalkeeper, but like I said, we'll see what comes up. Silva, Sommer, and Webjerg make up defence with Amici, Pajic, Zaraga, Raveluson, Oja, Raspadori, and Prats. So there is quite a good bunch of new players in there. They're going to have to gel and get used to the tactic and the players and so on and so forth. So it might take a little bit of gelling. We do then have a couple of the names you'll recognise from last season, like Marin, Marconi, Gnucci, Di Pialo, Luperini, Bro, Motta on the bench for us in there as well. So let's go play Venezia. So it's the highlight here. It's Pajic with the throw-in. Fiordolino, I recognise him from last year. Though Fiordolino, was that someone we signed for them? Was he there? And I mean, Raspadori's through. So let's just completely go off. But Fiordolino, I recognise that name from the Venezia one. But I'm sure that was a player that we kind of signed in. But I don't know. I'm kind of getting distracted by the Venetian times of last year's. Pajic comes forward again. Now, it did say that we are underdogs here. As he cuts it back, Abdon. Oh, Raspadori couldn't get on the end for a little tap-in, but he does retain the ball. Straight back in, cleared again. Good couple of efforts for Niers, and it actually continues. Zaraga. Raveluson. Oja. Oh, that was dangerous, but luckily it doesn't look like it's going to fall to them. I did notice they had two strikers up front with our three at the back, so they may be dangerous on the breaks. But yeah, it does definitely say that we are underdogs here, although they are down to 10 men currently, with Modolo off the pitch. Raveloson into Zaraga. Need to go wide, I think, here. That wasn't the great ball, though, but we do get away with it. It's Webjerg to Pajic. Into Abdon. Oh, I don't know why he didn't take a touch and shoot. I really don't there. That looked like a gilt-edged chance to score. And now he's cleared it, but again, the highlight continues here. Space absolutely down this side for Almishi. Needs to put a good ball in. He's got the space. He needs to cross. Raveloson for his first goal for Palermo. Ryan Raveloson with his goal there. Nice little cutback from Almishi. And like I said earlier, the assists just seem to come down the right. I mean, they're both set to the same things. Like, you know, it's not that the right is told to put it in more and the left isn't. They're both on the exact same instructions and everything, but they just seems to be way more coming out the right than the left, and it's been like that in like even the lead series and last year. You know, I always found that the left just didn't really seem to contribute too much. Let me know in the comments how you are finding that. You know, if you have like attacking wing backs and stuff, what's your assist like? Maybe it's just I'm getting unlucky. I don't know, but there is another highlight here. Vaca. I do recognise Vaca and Mala. Oh, there's a lot. Aramu. I recognise Falucci. I recognise so many of these names. It's incredible. Fiordolino. Don't recognise that one. But Fiordolino, it's bringing back a lot of memories of Venezia. I wish we could have finished that one off as Aramu. Good block. They do retain it though. They are going to be a dangerous team, I feel like, here, so we've got to be careful. But if we can sort of get rid of it, maybe clear it, we might have a break opportunity, as they have committed a lot of men forward here. And that's a great steal from Zaraga. And now, can we break here? We've got a couple of men forwards. He's going down the wing, tackled and cleared, but it's a decent breakaway chance for us. Another highlight, Modolo is injured, so I might have to have a little look at that and see if there's a way we can exploit him. I'm worried that Froman's miles out of his box here, but it seems like we've got away with it safe. I was very worried for a second there. Oja. Should go wide here. She's got a bit of room, although it looks like he wants to take it himself. Just cut back now to Zaraga, who finds Raspadori, who shoots. Come on, boys. And that's Giacomo Raspadori. His first goal for Palermo as well. There's going to be a bit of that going on, seeing as we've got like an all-new strike force, some new midfielders going on. So there's definitely going to be a lot of first goals for the club. But that's a really smart finish. Keeper had already pretty much stopped moving. I guess he probably dived the wrong way. But yeah, 2-0 up, and the highlights continue here. This is a really good performance. I mentioned at the very start I wasn't sure how we were going to go because of that kind of, struggles in the cup. But as Pajic comes forward here, we seem to be playing pretty well against a team that we are marked to be underdogs in. Zaraga, quite tame effort there. Although I did realise, I did sort of spot that I think Venezia were like 10th, was it? So they're not like one of the top teams in the division. So we may come unstuck against, the even better ones than these guys. But I'm just kind of hoping that we can maybe make mid-table. And Modolo is injured, but he's also on a yellow. I think he's gone here, and they're down to 10 men, which could make it very good for us. And just waiting for it to happen. There it goes, boys. They're down to 10 men. Red card. Waiting to see what they do, because at the minute they've just left a massive hole. There you go. I was like, I'm assuming you're not going to leave a massive gaping hole in your midfield, in your defence rather. But yeah, going well so far, guys. Kicks off the second half straight away with another highlight, and it's going to be a long episode today, but obviously we've had lots of transfers and things to chat about, so it's always going to be like that on the first episodes of the new seasons. But Pajic picks it back up. Almichi out wide. Can he dig out another cross for us? Coming in the box. He's got options. There was a dive in there, but Raspadori probably should do better. He's retained it. Tries to cut it back in. Falucci gets it cleared. He could have made it 3 there. He really could have made it 3, but we do hunt it back nicely. Kind of reminiscent of Leeds there, hunting down in packs to win the balls. Raspadori cuts it back to Almishi. That was a poor ball from him. Ryan Revolution was a bit too marked to get that ball. We got another highlight, Throman to Sommer. I like how we're playing out of the back. That's nice. Great ball out to Pasic. I just want to see more from him. You know, like I said, left-hand side, don't see loads. And I think he's a good quality player. It looks like he's got some really good attacking stats. So I'm just hoping he can come and deliver us some good balls in. As they do manage to get this cleared. Forte on the ball here. Bringing it forwards. Although we are kind of needing Pasic to do a bit of his defensive work. That's a good steal from a dodgy back pass there. Abdon. Dawding a little bit, but like Revolution, Zaraga's got the overlap, goes to Raspadori, who turns and absolutely rasps it. I'm going to use that quite a lot. Rasps it in the back of the net to make it 3-0 to Palermo. Really good goal from him. And we're now in full control of this game. 14 shots, 12 on target. Like, our shot conversion rate is brilliant today. Fiordolino does put a dangerous ball in, though. Can we get this cleared and maybe even make it worse for them? We are holding them up, although, do you see that? I kind of like hopped over the challenge. I've not seen that ever before in FM. Is that like a new character little model they've put in there? I've never seen the player hop over a challenge before. But yeah, so we do have Almichi actually on a bit of an injury here, so we will bring on Fininzio for him, just to kind of give him a rest. And what else? I think that'll probably do for now. Although we are immediately into another highlight. There's been highlight central in this game, guys. Fininzio straight on the pitch, straight in the action. And that action is losing the ball. Although another dodgy back pass. Raspadori cuts it. Oh, cleared. And Silva will collect it, but they've not been great with their back passes, trying to find their defence. They do seem to go awry quite a bit. I'll just claim it's because of the pressure that we're putting him under. As Ogier to Pasic to Abdon. Oh, almost an assist for him. Almost an assist. But good attacking intent. And that looks like it's going to be full time for us. And there it is. A 3-0 win over Venezia. Good performances for Raspadori there. Ogier, Zaraga, the new guy. Pasic actually getting a 7.3, which is good. Sommer in defence, you know. From even getting a 7.3. So a really good performance. They were down to obviously 10 men for the second half. But we were still at 2-0 up and doing pretty well by this point. So I'm really happy with that. Good win. Well done. And that's our first game of Serie B done and dusted. 3 points on the board straight away is never a bad thing. So there is obviously quite a few good teams that I can already recognise here, like Brescia, Lecca, Ascoli, I recognise them, Spezia, I recognise them, Genoa. I feel like they've maybe just come down or something. Empoli, Venezia, obviously. But yeah, there's a lot of good teams in here. I think it's going to be a tough division. But let me know how you think we're going to get it on. I'm just super excited for it, and like I say, if there is little gaps in the episodes, it's just because I'm doing lots of work at the minute on things, and then once that's done, I can just like fully concentrate on this again. But there will be episodes. I'm not going anywhere. Don't you worry about that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon.